Hi everyone. Today we're going to be talking about the first trimester of your pregnancy. We're going to be looking at how your baby develops during those weeks. Now, it might seem strange to you, but you're not actually pregnant the first week or two of the time that is allotted to your pregnancy. Conception usually occurs 2 weeks after your last period begins. But to calculate your estimated due date, your healthcare provider will count ahead 40 weeks after the start of your last period. So you're not actually pregnant during that first of 2 weeks. So let's take a look at week 3, which is fertilization. The sperm and the egg unite in one of your fallopian tubes to form a one-cell entity called zygote. Soon after fertilization, the zygote travels down the fallopian tube towards the uterus. At the same time, it will begin dividing to form a cluster of cells resembling a tiny raspberry, a morula. So, can you begin your baby looking like a raspberry? Interesting. So, let's take a look at implantation now, which is considered to be week 4. Let's see. The rapidly dividing ball of cells, known as blastocyst, has begun to burrow into the uterine lining endometrium. This process is called implantation. Within the blastocysts, the inner group of cells will become the embryo. Now, the outer layer of the blastocyst will give rise to the placenta, which it provides nutrients to your growing baby. So now let's take a look at week 5, but keep in mind, this is week 5 of your pregnancy, but only the 3rd week after conception. So those increased levels of hormones will fuel the growth of the placenta, which again provides nutrients to your growing baby, but not only nutrients, also oxygen. And something important that the placenta does is that removes waste products from your baby's blood. So let's take a look and see what else happens in this week. The embryo is now made of 3 layers. The top layer will give rise to your baby's outermost layer of skin, central and peripheral nervous system, eyes and inner ears. Your baby's heart and a primitive circulatory system will form in the middle layers of cells. This layer of cells will also serve as the foundation for your baby's bones, ligaments, kidneys, and much of the reproductive system. The inner layer of cells is where your baby's lungs and intestines will develop. So now let's take a look at week 6. In week 6, again, keep in mind week 6 of your pregnancy, only 4 weeks after conception. The neural tube along the baby's back is closing in this week. But let's see what else. The baby's brain and spinal cord will develop from the neural tube. The heart and other organs also are starting to form, and the heart begins to beat, structures necessary to the formation of the eyes and ears develop. small buds appear that will soon become arms. Your baby's body begins to take on a C-shaped curvature. Now we're going into week 7. By this time, your baby is about 10 millimeters long. Can you believe that? 10 millimeters long. Let's see what else. Baby's head develops. Depressions that will give rise to nostrils become visible, and the beginning of the retinas form. Lower limb buds that will become legs appear, and the arm buds that sprouted last week, so week 6, now take on the shape of paddles. So now we're into week 8. Let's see what happens during this week. Let's see how your baby's body develops in this week. Your baby's lower limb buds take on the shape of paddles. Fingers have begun to form. Small swellings outlining the future shell-shaped parts of your baby's ears develop, and the eyes become obvious. The upper lip and the nose have formed. So we're now into week 9, and this is where baby's toes appear. Interesting, eh? So let's see what else happens here, how your baby's body is growing week by week and forming in your womb. So your baby's arms grow and elbows appear. Toes are visible and eyelids form. His head is large but still has a poor form. Remember, this is not 9 weeks into your pregnancy, but only 7 weeks after conception. Your baby is 3/4 of an inch long, from head to toe. 3/4 of an inch. Can you believe that? Isn't that amazing? How a tiny cells divides, and it's amazing. So let's take a look now at week 10. Baby's elbows bent. Your baby can now bend his or her elbows. Toes and fingers lose their webbing and become longer. The eyelids and external ears continue to develop. The umbilical cord is clearly visible. Baby's head has become more round. So it's interesting here because now the baby's head is being formed, and it's more round in that week. So let's take a week at week 11. But please keep in mind, again, week 11 into your pregnancy, only 9 weeks after conception, right? Let's see. Baby's genitals develop. Buds for future teeth appear. Red blood cells are beginning to form in your baby's liver. External genitalia will start developing. So here it's important to mention that during week 11, the baby's head still makes up half of his length or her length, but the body will soon catch up. And the baby is 2 inches long from head to toe. 2 inches long. Can you believe that? Isn't that amazing? So let's take a look at week 12 and see what happens in that week. Baby's fingers nails form. Your baby's face now has taken on a more developed profile. His or her intestines are in the abdomen. By now, your baby might be about 2.5 inches long from crown to rump. So, isn't that amazing how your baby develops during those first weeks of pregnancy? Now, what about you? What are you feeling in that first trimester? Mostly fatigue, you feel tired. If you're experiencing nausea, vomiting, which is called morning sickness, not because it happens during the morning, but because it's more common during that time of the day. You might be experiencing headache, back pain, minor discomforts of pregnancy. And I have already made a whole video on morning sickness, and I have provided you some natural remedies that women have been using for many, many years that can ease the symptoms of morning sickness, and also of many minor discomforts that you might be feeling during this first trimester, like leg cramps, varicose veins. So please, I encourage you to take a look at those videos, that I have already made. So I hope you like this video. I hope you enjoy the information. I hope that now, when you live week by week, then you know what's happening inside your womb, how your baby is developing, how the nose is forming, in which week, the nose forms, the arms show up, the toes appear. I hope you like it. So if you do, please don't forget to give it a like. If you would like to start following me, please do not forget to subscribe and to activate the bell notification button as well, so that you know every time that I upload a video. Please do not forget to leave your comments, your constructive feedback. I can only grow more. We can grow together. And if you would like me to talk about a specific topic, please leave it in your comments, and I will see if I can make a whole video about that, that topic, that concern, that doubt that you may have. Today I'm here in this wonderful place. It is a cottage in a place called Huayua in El Salvador. I hope that you enjoy the background. It is a wonderful place, very relaxing, And you can hear birds singing. Flowers are beautiful here because it is a place that has such a wonderful weather here in El Salvador. So I hope one day you can also visit this wonderful place. Please take good care of yourself, and that is out there. Please support your mamas out there. They can be alone during this journey, especially during that first trimester. That can be the most difficult one sometimes, because about half of women that are pregnant suffer from morning sickness, and some suffer the whole pregnancy of morning sickness, which makes it really difficult. So please take good care of your partners. Bye.